I shit on myself before.
Did you shit before?
Yeah, I shit on
All right, wipe it up and keep going. So the thing is, I'm exactly what I'm supposed to be because everything's in divine order. Either God is running it or he ain't, But the thing is, I would have been further along if I wasn't getting high. A lot of the artists, like the Steve Harveys and the Cedric the Entertainers and DLs, all those guys came up a little after me. Some of them actually had looked up to me, but now they rich enough to pee cream, and I'm pretty much a day player. I'm still dancing fast as I can to get there, but I ain't mad at none of them because everything that happened to Michael Colyar happened to Michael Colyar because of Michael Colyar. That's why I'm working on 6 projects now and doing my own stuff, and I'm pulling myself back up. But you sometimes have to go through the fire to get the lesson, And so the gift of sobriety, man, I can't tell you. I'm doing a new podcast called The Happy Pod, and I am doing interviews with other addicts who are sober. So my first one I just did was with Lou Gossett Jr., Academy Award winner, and he tells these fabulous stories about his life as an actor. When he won Officer and a Gentleman, he said he didn't win that. Them drill sergeants won that because they made him go to the military for 3 months and be a drill sergeant, and then they separated him from all the other actors. He couldn't be with the actors till he was on set in the scene because he didn't want to be their friends. So on the one hand, he talked about his great, fabulous career. The other hand, he talked about, man, I became a star, so all of a sudden, 3 a.m, I get a knock on the door. It'd be 2 butt-naked women with a handful of rocks. I said, I've been waiting for that knock. But I'm just saying, he opens his heart and tells his story about now he's back on his path again because of these gifts of sobriety, And so, so I do this thing called the Happy Pod. So we're going to keep doing those things. But sobriety's giving me everything.
It's so interesting, man. I feel like it's when you've gone through what you've gone through, or anybody who has a story, I think it's your social responsibility to tell that story. Because people learn from it.
I really do
no matter
too.
how ugly it is, no matter how bad it was, you have to tell your truth so other people learn from it.
And it probably helps you remain sober as well when you have that
does help you remain sober. I think because you know what? I'm not anonymous. A lot of people, I go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, but I'm not anonymous. I tell everybody. I tell people in the street. They say, why are you telling me? I say, shit, I'm telling everybody. Because I want everybody to know that I'm an addict that's sober. So if you ever see me somewhere, pick up something, slap the shit out of me. Because I'm not supposed to be there. That's not what I'm trying to do. And, Lou Gossett feels the same way. He talks about it. So, we put it out there. It is a responsibility. I'm glad that you said it. Because I was in church. There was a great vocalist named Carl Anderson. And I don't know if you guys go far back enough to remember the original Jesus Christ Superstar, the musical. But the brother who played Judas went on to be a great vocalist, a jazz vocalist, Carl Anderson. He became my great friend. He would watch me on Venice Beach, and he was with me during my time of addiction, as I was coming out of my addiction. And he would say, Michael, you got to tell that story, brother. You got to tell that story. So when he transcended, because he was one of the greatest singers at my church, Agape, everybody celebrated him at this church. So they had this big celebration. They allowed me to come up and do some of my comedy. And I do a whole routine about my addiction, about how I was so high one day I broke into my own damn house, So I'm doing this whole thing about it. And the audience are loving it. The congregation is loving it. But this one erudite brother, this, rich brother from Malibu, he actually has a black museum in the basement of his home, right? You can go in his basement and he's got original money from slavery with black people on it, and a letter from a white guy selling a slave to another white guy and telling him how to treat him. I mean, he's into his blackness. And he pulled me to the side and said, brother, I'm sorry that happened to you like it happened to you. And I don't care how funny that story is. You should never tell that story. You shouldn't put that story out there. And, and it was church and everything. But in my immediate response is I said, man, fuck you. Because Carl Anderson, who I was there celebrating, always told me you should tell that story. This story is the story that heals other people. If someone is getting high now and they 2 years in and think they can't get out, they look at me and they see I did 23 years.
Well, what was his reason for saying you shouldn't tell the story?
Because he didn't want you to say something that's negative and you're black and you're supposed to be a black, I don't know. I don't call myself no star or no celebrity.
Just pretend to be perfect?
Yeah. The thing is you want to keep that image of, all is well,
Everything
but
is good,
it's not true in life. In life, there are some bumps and sometimes things don't go like you want them to go. Nobody is perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus couldn't save everybody. He could walk on water, make that good wine.
Imagine telling Jesus not to tell his story.
Imagine
telling people not to tell the story of Jesus.
And he would tell you can't save everybody. but you can save yourself. And you can save yourself by just being true to yourself. The closer you get to your center, the closer you get to God, because God resides in the center of your heart. Mm-hmm. So the thing is to keep trying to get closer and closer to your own center, to settle and keep Father God first. So if you keep God first, you can do everything. Anything. I mean, I'm doing films.
You have your one-man play?
Oh, the one-man show is off the chain. It's called Michael Kaya's Mama. That's my mama.
That's your mama?
Oh, yeah. If you like your mama, you'll love this show. She's awesome.
I like my mom.
She's awesome, and mothers, our mothers are usually the first God that we ever know.
The closest thing we know to God. Right?
Oh, yeah, and they're the ones who stand by you. And so my show is like, it's a 2-hour play, and when I said I was doing it, a lot of people thought a one-man show is going to be a long-ass comedy show. Mm-hmm. But it's not a comedy show. It's a play, so I get to go act out my addiction. I'm on the bathroom floor, hitting this pipe while my woman is in the bed, sleep, and you see me tiptoeing in the house. But then you see me come back to recovery, and then you see all these people who I successfully fooled. I mean, Robert Townsend gave me a movie. He didn't know I was getting high. He put me on
the Hollywood Shuffle?
Hollywood Shuffle. My first film, I didn't have but one line. It was, no, it's a muffler. But I got $1,004. Shit. It allowed me to get in the Screen Actors Guild,
Right.
I mean, Bernie Mac was my great friend. He never knew that I was getting high. He the one got me on the first season of Def Jam. I ended up doing 6 of the 7 seasons, hosted one of the seasons because of him. And when I got my first talk show on BET called BET Live, he was one of the first guests to come on. He insisted he'd come on to support me. You know what I'm saying? And none of these guys knew, because I was